Hey everybody, welcome to Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending on where you are in the world, and thanks for joining me on another live stream here on Instagram. Just let the room populate here for a second. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing fine. It's world's crazy out there. Let's relax and talk about denim. The best part of waking up is Naked Famous. And I should have my Naked Famous cup. I have a Naked Famous cup, but just a little milk coffee here. Denim King.
Tiger King.
Hope everybody's watched Tiger King. Any more Green Core Weird Guy 32? I don't think so. Requests for inventory, go ahead and send me a DM and I will look into that for you. I've managed to find some stuff for people. Some stuff was, a little difficult. It's kind of funny that some people, it's not funny, I think it's kind of exciting. Some people are asking for some deep hits. The other day somebody asked for the Karmaloop collaboration. I don't know if you guys remember Karmaloop, although I think they still exist, but Karmaloop used to be this beast of an online retailer, and they were a good partner of ours for many years. We did a very special collaboration with them, and somebody asked for it the other day, and I thought that was wow. That's a true long time fan right there. I remember making that jean with them. It was really funny, and here's a funny Karmaloop story. For anybody who remembers Karmaloop, they were very, very streetwear. I mean, that was their MO, and that was their business, which was great. We cross a lot of different, we're jeans. We cross over into any kind of, genre of fashion, whatever, however you want to say it. And we had a pretty close relationship with them. And I remember they were launching a women's Karmaloop website. I forget what it was called, Miss KL or something like that. I don't remember specifically what it was, but I remember I was in New York City, and they were having a launch event. So they invited me to come, and I went. And it was very, it was at a club. I don't remember what club it was, but the audience, what I expected from a Karmaloop party was going to be a very hip hop, kind of thing. And, the crowd is very hip hop. But the headliner that night was Wanda Jackson. I don't know if you guys know who Wanda Jackson is, but she's like a rockabilly queen. And I found it really amusing because, I don't think the audience there knew who she was. I knew who she was. I was very excited, and I was maybe the only guy on the dance floor area rocking out while Wanda was doing her thing. I mean, the audience was young too. There's no way that they knew who Wanda Jackson was. But I thought it was really weird that they had a rockabilly performer come for this event. Instead of a rapper or something like that maybe the audience would have resonated with a little bit more. Anyways, it was fun, and that was a fun Karmaloop story. Good times. Let's see. Just got the Sakiori jacket. Super nice, man. First time buying anything from you guys. I gotta get some jeans. That's a very incredible piece to start off with. The other day, somebody also told me that they got their first pair of jeans. They bought a pair of Elephant 8s. And I'm like, wow, that's a hardcore model to start with. You set the bar pretty high. But, that is a fantastic piece. I hope you enjoy it. And you'll love the jeans just as much, I'm sure. Okay, sorry, my phone's doing a little funny business over here. Okay, so just to give you guys some updates on where we're at, just general newsletter stuff. Montreal store Tate and Yoko, we are open for business. So if you are in the Montreal area and feel like doing some jean shopping in person, you can come to the store. If you don't, then you can always shop online, of course. New York City is still closed for the time being. However, we are for a lot of the stuff that I'm finding, for those style requests, people are looking for kind of hard to find styles. Some of that inventory is sitting in New York. So as I'm taking requests, I'm checking around inventory, finding different retailers, and sometimes that stuff is in New York City. And if it is, then we can actually ship it to you. So if there is something you are looking for, like a Hanami or a Sakiori or something like that, let me know. And we can arrange for the shipping on that, or I will if we don't have it, or I find it at another retailer. I basically just scour whoever we shipped that item to, and I see if they still have it online, or even if they have it available online, and then I'll send you a link, or anyways anywhere to find that item. I'm helping you out, so let me know if there's anything you need there. Aside from that, we're getting ready for spring summer 21 collection. So it's a weird kind of situation we're in, because this is the first time ever that I think fashion weeks are basically canceled everywhere. We'll see. There some of the shows that we normally do are still, their calendars are still saying that they're going to be running. So there's a show in Vegas, maybe in August, and a show in, mind you, we don't do, so there's a show that we usually do in July that has been rescheduled to September, but we'll see about that. And September for us is a little late. So, and beyond that, I don't know what the world is going to look like in terms of people being able to travel. So it's a weird situation that we're in, but we're still pushing forward, and we will have a collection for Spring Summer 21 for sure. So stay tuned. You'll see some previews of the collection from me, some sneak peeks in the coming weeks. So just tune in as you normally do, and you're gonna get all the first looks at everything. Whatever happened to the red selvage that the old Dirty Fate had? The newer ones have a beige edge with the red ID. It's kind of a mixed batch. So basically it's just a mixed batch. It's the exact same fabric. They made it with the opposite selvage ID, and we accepted it. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So some productions have the reverse selvage ID, and some productions have the classic red line selvage ID. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. I think I missed a question, but a lot of waves, a lot of hellos. Thanks for joining me. Okay. That's it. Okay. Phone is frozen. Well, if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. So what did I talk about? I said we're open in Montreal. New York City is not open yet. We're shipping out of New York for special requests. Spring Summer 21 collection is moving forward as normal. Can you spray broken twill, please? Just got a pair of elephant sixes. Sure. So a broken twill denim. I don't think I have one here with me. But a broken twill denim, if you notice the inside, you'll see that, actually you can tell from the outside, but it's easier to tell from the inside. You'll see that there's kind of a zigzaggy pattern when it comes to the weave direction. In fact, there is no weave direction, because it's a mix actually of left hand twill and right hand twill. And the reason why broken twill exists is because back in the days, and still, but anyways, back in the days when they would make denim, whether a left-hand twill or a right-hand twill, because there's a twill bias to that fabric, over time that fabric would twist. And in a pair of jeans, that would result in something called leg twist. That's where you would see that side seam kind of twist around. And if you look at some like beat-up vintage jeans, you'll notice that side seam twists around sometimes all the way to the front of the jean. And that's because of that twill bias. Nowadays, there is a process called anti-skewing, which basically takes the twist out of a fabric before it's cut and sewn. So typically unsamfrized fabrics do not go through the anti-twist process, anti-skewing process. So usually on an unsamfrized jean, you'll see some leg twist happening. But broken twill was designed back in the days to essentially alleviate that problem before the anti-skewing process was developed. So it was a fabric that wouldn't twist, hence getting rid of leg twist, which was seen as kind of I don't know if it was necessarily a defect, but people, I guess it was enough that there was a demand for a fabric that didn't twist. I think it's pretty cool, actually. I think it's a neat detail, just looking at it from a vintage, kind of fabric or vintage jean perspective. It's kind of one of those signs that this was made, especially when you're making new jeans with unsanforized and like non-anti-skewed fabrics, that it's made the old school way. So I hope that answers your question. Kimono shirt pockets like on the inside? Maybe. Got a pair of the True Grits the other day, and the fabric is spectacular. Thanks for sharing a few weeks ago. My pleasure. I'm glad that you're enjoying them. I still enjoy mine. I still wear mine quite often, although I'm wearing a tiger. Well, they're leopard print, but I really enjoy these. Batman news, I will get to that. Update on the Trunks jacket. I just got it from James Dant, so I don't think I'm getting the Tate and Yoko news. So I don't think oh, weird. Garrett sent out some emails the other day. It may be in your spam or junk mail, I'm not sure. But we are on track to deliver for the end of June. We are on track. So, it is currently in production. So all of the trunk stuff, not just the jackets, but all the trunk stuff will be ready to go sooner than anticipated. So I'm happy to announce that. Are the King of Celebs still available? I thought I remembered seeing them in a store a year or so ago. What's the wait on those? The King of Celeb is still available. I don't know how available they are. I can check Tate and Yoko for you. I'm sure there are some sizes that are missing. What's the weight on these? These are 23 ounces. What description of what the fabric is like? The fabric is the slubbiest, bumpiest, craziest fabric you've ever seen. I have the what's going on with my computer here? I don't know what's happening. It's not turning on. Great technical difficulties. Let me get you. I have an Emperor of Celeb jacket here. Let me just. Oh, can you bring me the Emperor of Celeb jacket? It's just hanging. Sorry for the. Here we go. Thank you very much. This is the Rolls Royce of slubby denims. And so the King of Celeb is an indigo by white version of this. So indigo exterior, white interior. The Emperor of Celeb is indigo. This is the sample jacket, so this does not have the contrast stitching. This is the tonal stitching, but you can see a little bit of cat hair. That's life with cats, my friends. Little overblown in the color here, but you can see just how slubby this fabric is. These knots and bumps are really, really extreme. Super extreme. So you're going to get some really intense fading here. I have to start wearing this. It's a little hot. So yeah, you can tell there just how bumpy and crazy this fabric is. And the fact that it's indigo means you're gonna have this underlaying color as the warp fades. You'll have this blue undertone to it as well. So it's gonna be especially in the Emperor of Celeb. The King of Celeb, you'll have that classic kind of white tone, and it is tough enough to stand on its own. Though I am one-handed right now, so I can't. But if you lean it up on something, it really stands up quite nicely. Okay. Next. These leopard pants, yes, I'm glad you like them. They pretty much I think we have maybe some in New York, but aside from that, they've been hard to find. This has been one of those things a lot of people have been requesting. This is the leopard with the tiger camo on the inside. So it's a double-sided one. We will be making new leopard ones for next spring, summer. So they won't be double-sided, but they will exist. So these have been very, very popular. Any new chinos coming out? If so, are they non-stretch? There is a new chino coming out, a kind of a gray melange coming out in the fall, but it will have stretch. When you guys come up with a super rough on sans fries, would be great to have something like that. Super rough on sans fries, that's pretty much almost all of our raw jeans are super rough. Especially if you're dealing with 100% cotton, and anything that we do is on sans fries is definitely super rough. If you want like the like one of the most rigid fabrics, the deep indigo rigid selvage. The deep indigo rigid selvage. That's one of the jeans that we've had in our collection since practically day one. It is super cardboard. That's the most rigid of any. Like it's a tough jean. That's a bad boy right there. When you guys come out with an unsanfrized super rough, When will you guys come out with an unsanfrized super rough heavy denim? I know you guys did the Vegeta denim, but I feel like something similar. Well, yeah, Okayama Spirit, Japan Heritage, Emperor of Slub, King of Slub. We do a lot in that world. I'm not sure how familiar you are with our releases. Make prisoner pants. I don't know about that. Yeah. Stripey, I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to wear those. The people who have to wear them don't want to wear them. So, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. The rigid state of a new pair is the best. As much as I agree with you, because I think it's fun, you know what's annoying about them? This is the only annoying part about a very, very fresh pair of raw jeans. I don't know how many of you sit on public metros or things like that, but oftentimes they have like these plastic seats, or if you're ever sitting on like a plastic kind of seat, you're really slippery on those things. I ride the metro, especially in Montreal. All the seats are like this kind of plastic. You just slip and slide. It's a little dangerous the first couple of wears until you get the jeans roughed up a little bit. But it is funny. I don't know if anybody has ever experienced that. But if you're sitting in leather seats or fabric seats, you don't have that problem. But if you're sitting on like a plasticky seat, you'll slip right off. Be careful. What's the deal with trunks? I hear people talk about them a lot, but I don't really understand what's going on with them. Well, are you a fan of Dragon Ball? If you are, then the Trunks denim is our iteration of Trunks. I mean, he's probably is he the most popular? He's a very, very popular character, and it's a great fading heavyweight all black denim that fades beautifully. It's one of those things that you don't really see a lot. A slubby black heavyweight fading black denim. A lot of people have been fans of that fabric. The fabric made its first appearance as the Akuma denim, which was very, very, very rare. We did not release very many of those. And Trunks was a way for us to kind of re-release that fabric. But with the Trunks color selvage edge. So and of course it has the Trunks embroidery on the back as well, the capsule core embroidery. So a lot of people want that fabric. It's a great fabric. And the other thing is, a lot of people are searching for that black denim for their wardrobe. Being in the raw denim community, most of us have a pair of indigo denim. Maybe we have a couple pairs of indigo jeans. But not everybody has a pair of black jeans, but everybody kind of needs a pair of black jeans. It's just one of those things that, I used to For a long time, I only wore black jeans. I went through a lot of phases. So having good black jeans, I think, is pretty essential for every wardrobe. And I think if you're going to pick one pair, and you want a hardcore pair, that's the pair to get. We have a lot of black denim options. The black Power Stretch, the black Cobra, we've got the black Selvage. So we have something for everybody. But as far as hardcore black, like really hardcore, the trunks is the way to go. What's the craziest unreleased design Naked and Famous has had? You talk about denims you won't release, and I want to know the kind of stuff that's been hidden from us. Some of them are genuinely hideous. Like the rainbow denim, I loved. As soon as but we've had kind of visions of the rainbow denim before, and some of them were not so cool. It was like micro stripes, like the entire jean, and by the time the fabric itself kind of looked like puke already, just because there was so much color, and it was kind of muted tones. So that was definitely a fail. We never released that ever. One time, this is my favorite kind of cutting room floor jean that genuinely could have been something. It was, what was it? I think it was the banana fiber. So, sounds great. We've done pineapple denim. We've done all kinds of these interesting blends of materials. But one time we did a banana denim, and it wasn't made from like the banana, like the fruit. It was made from the tree. So the yarns it produced were very fibrous, and it looked cool and very hairy, but you couldn't wear them. It was worse than wearing steel wool. It was super scratchy, they were unwearable. Absolutely unwearable. And as cool as they looked, I was saying to Brad, we can't sell these. We can't make these. I mean, somebody might book them because they see them, they look neat. But as soon as a customer puts them on, it is torturous hell. You can't wear these. And he was like, oh, well, he really liked the look of the fabric. So he decided to make a sample with a lined interior jean, not conducive of jean wearing. I mean, it would have made them wearable, but nobody wants to wear lined jeans. So there is a sample somewhere in our sample room with a lined jean. Anyways, that definitely. It was a cool fabric. That's kind of one of those shames where it's really, really beautiful, but you can't do anything with it because you can't wear it. And that's kind of where, anyways, sometimes you have to make things because you have to make things, but you also have to be able to make things that are, in a way, palatable. It has to be palatable. That was unpalatable. You couldn't wear those. Maybe you could make bags or something out of it, but that's the only use I could think of that. And even then, it would be a very, very expensive denim tote bag for no other reason but to have this kind of hairy fabric, which you probably could reproduce in a dozen different other ways. You don't know what I can wear. I don't know what you can wear, but I know what would generally sell and what generally wouldn't sell. Of course, look, the fact of the matter is somebody would buy those. We've made those back in the day. We made clear jeans for April Fools, and people were asking me to buy those. People wanted the clear vinyl jeans that we made. Anyways, I still think we should make a couple, just because what I really liked about that vinyl jean was that you could see how the construction of the entire jean was done, except for the buttons. The buttons, we couldn't use real jeans buttons because it would destroy the vinyl, but we probably... Anyways, if you were gentle with them, then you probably could. Okay, I missed a bunch of questions. The El Diablo were great black denims. That's true. Contrasting the trunks with the El Diablo, they're very similar. I would say that the trunks is a little bit more slubby. Trunks fabric fades fast. I haven't worn mine very often or given them their first wash yet, but I already have whiskers and knee fades. Crazy. They are a fast fading black jean. That's for sure. Okay. Would you do a Japan Heritage with a texture like the new black ones at like 16 to 18 ounces, indigo by indigo or black left? Would you do a Japan Heritage with a texture like the new black ones? The new black, like the Japan Heritage all black, is the same fabric construction as all of our previous Japan Heritage. At 16 to 18 ounces, I mean, we could probably bump it up. It would probably look like there's the new Okayama Spirit. We probably look somewhere like something like that. So I mean, it's doable. Just bump up the weight. Is there a tailor? I'm in the New York City shop. We do hemming on site, so we don't alter jeans. Like, we're not going to touch your waistband, and we're not going to like tailor the jeans. Mess with the inseams or things like that. We do hemming. Hopefully down the line, we're going to be able to do repairs in store. That's something we hope to be able to do, but we're not there yet. So right now, hemming on site. Yeah. I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I really agree with all the JoJo crossover requests. Man, definitely the number one requested property. I'm gonna tell you now that I will pursue it. Not right now, because we have quite a bit on our plate at the moment in terms of crossover properties. So Batman, Rick and Morty. There's the horror stuff that I'm working on, The Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. There's a couple more that we're just kind of figuring out, but there's quite a lot right now. And aside from the main collection, this is like these sub collections I have to design and like put together. It's a lot. So in order, like, I will pursue JoJo. But I also have to consume a lot of JoJo to really understand what's going on there, so we could put together a really, really proper product. Of course, assuming we get the crossover, assuming that happens. So, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Old Joseph Joestar denim would. I don't know what Joseph Joestar is. Banana pants. No banana pants. Maybe just yellow pants. W weave denim jacket. Dude, I'd kill for a re-release of that W weave fabric, and I love even more to have a jacket. The W weave was only made for a retailer in France called Le Clairer, which is perhaps the most luxurious store in the world. A lot of people knew Paris for Colette, but I think the French people, the people in Paris, knew where the real shit was happening was at Le Clairer. I mean, it was intimidating to walk into that store. It was cool. It was like a museum. And they had the craziest shit. I remember walking in once, and they had like an entire wall of like camping stuff that was all made out of leather. Like, you wanted a leather like Coleman cooler, they had it. I'm sure it was customized and whatever. It was like insanely expensive, but like you could buy a $60,000 leather jacket there. Like, the stuff that, if you were Elton John or somebody, like, when you wanted to be when you're rich and you want to ball out, that's where you go. Colette was, don't get me wrong, Colette had fantastic products. Our products were carried there for many years. We had a great relationship with them. And I especially loved going to, they would invite us to these parties, and it felt so like, you felt like you were, and there would be all kinds of industry people and fashion people there, and very, very fun times at Colette. It's kind of weird, like all these kind of stores at, Barney's, Colette, there's all these shops at, for a long time had a lot of cultural significance, and they're not there anymore. I don't know if there's any who's like taking their places in that world, or who will. But it was always fun to go to these places and see what's going on and see the excitement. But I mean, the only time I'd ever be at Colette also was during Fashion Week, so there's a lot of excitement there to begin with in the first place. So maybe it's not a true vision of what day-to-day business operations at these places were, but Lake Claire, it's still open. They have a couple of locations in Paris. Go there if you get a chance, and you'll see some wild stuff. I forget the name of the cologne I got there, but it's perhaps the best cologne I ever got ever. It was some French brand, and they reproduce like scents that were made for royalty. So it's pretty intense stuff. It's in my Montreal apartment. If not, I'd show it to you. I forget the name of it. I'll look it up. It's fantastic stuff. Lake Claire, check it out if you ever get to go to Paris. When you do get JoJo, I don't know how you'd even go about narrowing down which characters to make jeans for. There are so many well-designed characters. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with all of these projects, is that there are so many beloved characters in these properties, and how do you narrow it down? So, we consume, and basically we try to figure out which ones are our favorites, and hopefully that ends up being your favorites too. We can't satisfy everybody, but we know that even with the Dragon Ball collection, of course, there's a bunch of characters that we didn't do, and there's characters that I wish we could have done. But at the end of the day, if you're always a fan of some of the characters that we're going to do. They may not be your number one best all-time favorite character, although we do try to get those characters. It wouldn't be a Batman collection without Batman. So, of course, we try to do that, and I'm sure that no matter what characters we pick, that there's going to be something for everyone. All right, people are throwing in the character names. I don't know these characters, so I will have to if and when this project happens, I'll refer to the community for sure. Naked and Famous times Mike Amiri. I don't know who that is. Mike Amiri. Jeans for each JoJo was my first thought too. Up to yeah, you guys are giving me a lot of references that I'm not familiar with, so you're going to have to hold back until I'm ready to take this information in. We need all the acts of Tusk. Again, oh man. See, like you're going to get me in trouble because I don't know this stuff yet. I don't know this yet. Will there be another MIJ jacket in the fall? Not in the fall. Not this fall. No, MIJ 7, MIJ 8, no denim jacket variant. So this Colette place doesn't exist anymore. No, Colette closed maybe 2 years ago. But it is one of these. That was the epicenter of like cool in Paris, I'd say. Like that was the store where like streetwear and high fashion collided. You could buy Dior, you could buy Bape. Like they had that kind of, yeah, they had everything. They didn't have everything, but they had everything that was, I would say, cool. It was a really neat store and super well curated. And I think High Snobiety just did, they did like a capsule collection called Colette Mon Amour. So kind of to just, let me see what that was all about. Oh, I guess it was a documentary. Colette Mon Amour documentary. So I haven't seen this yet. May 9th, 2020, I see a video about it. First trailer for Colette Mon Amour documentary is here. So check it out. It's you'll see. It was losing a place like this, I think, is a shame. I who knows? Maybe something like this will pop up again. The people who ran it are still highly influential in terms of the fashion world. So I'm sure there's something will pop up at some point. What's your opinion on $1,300 plus designer denim? If you listened to me on there was a podcast I did. I put a link to it the other day in our Instagram story. So I was speaking with a Malaysian kind of fashion magazine. We talked about that, and what are my opinions on it? I mean, it depends on nothing they've ever made could warrant the price that they charge in terms of quality. Nothing, zero things. But I guess they warrant the price if you want that particular designer or label's name on your jeans. Because if you want to have jeans that have a particular symbol or logo or name on them, that's how much you have to pay. So there's the designer tax. You also have to consider these are not jeans brands. These are brands that maybe are specializing in other products, but they have especially a lot of these brands, they're not known for their denim, so they just happen to have jeans in their assortment because it's just another thing for them to sell. But some of them are better at making jeans than others. I'm not going to deny that, and some of them have nice designs. But is the price of that design any better than any other design, really? There's a lot of nice fits and designs out there that are not nearly that price. So there's like, if you think there's no way to justify that price other than the fact that you want to spend that much money to have a particular label on your butt. That's my opinion on that. And this is coming from a guy who's owned those kinds of jeans, and several of them. I never paid that much money for them, though. If you listen to that podcast, you'll know I used to work at a luxury department store, so I had a pretty hefty discount. So I would be able to get. I had a lot of these designer jeans, and I wore them for a long time. And as someone who has owned several and many, I can assure you that none of them have ever come up to the quality levels of what what the raw denim community puts out. Hands down, will never happen. And even if it matched quality level, you're never going to beat price performance. But I mean, what's the price performance? Subjectively, what's the price performance of a designer label? So if you want to ball out, I guess there's only one way to do that. Ever thought about HST Freak Power Project? I don't know what that is. HST Freak? Just received my Sakiori denim kimono, and it looks even better than in the photos. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It is a pretty awesome piece. We didn't make very many of those, so it's a rarer piece as well. So enjoy it. Batman news. So in terms of Batman news, we are progressing nicely. Right now, we're just finalizing. So all those leather patches, I think I showed you guys not too long ago. Let me see if I have it on my computer here. I have to be careful with what I can show. Maybe it was on a different computer. A lot of computers, guys. Not a lot, but too many to keep everything organized in one place. 1 second. So I can show you some of these leather patches. I'm just going to load them up here. Sorry. So all of our leather patches are now finalized and approved. We're going to production with these. Yes. So let's check out this stuff together. So this is the Caped Crusaders, Batman and Robin denim. So that's going to be the leather patch. We've got Harley Quinn. We've got the Joker. looking insane. I really like this image a lot. Bane looking like a badass. And Batman with Robin. So this is from the Dark Knight arc. Frank Miller. So those are your leather patches. I mean, the Adam West era Batman. This stuff looks great. Harley Quinn, Joker, Bane, Batman. So that's the news. That stuff just got officially approved, so that's going into production now. Fabrics are all in production right now. We will probably start. Like I said, I'll have some samples, probably physical samples, end of June-ish era timing. So looking forward to that and showing you the real fabrics instead of just some drawings and things like that. So that's coming very soon. What DBZ characters did you want to do but didn't get to do? I wanted to do the androids. Who else would I have done? Bulma would have been fun also. Gohan. Yeah. And I really wanted to do the androids. For me, that would have been the next best one to do. Yeah, that would have been that. Bulma would also have been fun. We don't do a lot of female characters in these. Well, that's not true. I mean, we had Chun-Li. We've got Harley Quinn. But yeah, for Dragon Ball, no female character. So it would have been nice to do the androids and Bulma. What's your recommendations for the first pair of unsanforized? Go with what would be my We used to have. I need to make a core unsanforized denim. We used to have one called the Natural Indigo Unsanforized. I don't think we have that anymore, and I used to recommend that a lot, but I don't think we have it in stock anymore. We usually have an unsanforized option every now and then. MIJ. Just go with the gold. Go with the. Although we tempy treat all that stuff, which I would also recommend. You know what? If you're gonna get it for the first time, just go with a tempy treated one. Don't worry about the shrink. Let us take care of that for you, and then you can enjoy all the rest of the unsanforized goodness, like the hairiness of the fabric, and the fact that your jeans are going to twist and everybody else is not. So you get a slubbier texture offhand because it doesn't go through during the sanforization process. There's basically a giant set of hot rollers that flattens the fabric down and heats it up. That gets rid of the shrink, but you don't get that. So there's generally a more textured fabric at the same time. But if you want to go through the shrinkage business, yeah, maybe a Japan Heritage would be the way to go. Although I really think I should make maybe an iteration of the left-hand twill that is unsanforized, and then we'd have a left-hand twill unsanforized, which would be a good idea. Thanks, guys. That's why I like doing this stuff. They didn't do Frieza. You know why we didn't do Frieza? Piccolo, Gohan, yeah. We didn't do Frieza. I wanted to do Frieza. How do you make Frieza jeans? Right? They would have been white. And I think that might have been a hard sell. Like white and purple, I've really, really spent a lot of time thinking about that one. And I couldn't put it together in a way that I thought made sense for a pair of jeans. Any denim shirts in the mix this season? We have a denim work shirt. But heavy denim shirts, we don't have that many. The denim work shirt is pretty much all we have. Considering you guys are redoing the vulgar selvage, are there any denim fabrics that have been released in the past that might get redone or remastered in the future? We are doing a new version of the Purple Core is happening. I just saw the sample for that the other day. So we do re-release in that respect. So the Purple Core is happening. So watch out for that. and of course, down the line there will be some remixes and remasters of new stuff. Remasters. I feel like a video game company. Best pair of Lincoln famous for outdoorsy activities. Depends how outdoorsy you want, but even the left-hand twill is great for all season, all year kind of wear. If you want something that's specifically summery, then maybe consider the all conditions denim. Do you sell in the UK? Yep, we sell to a retailer called Stewart's London. But you can also check the retail. We have a retail listing on a stockist list on nakedandfamousdenim.com, which just got updated. So Risa, my lovely wife, spent a lot of time putting that together. So check out the new and improved retail guide on nakedandfamousdenim.com. Been a fan for a while, but shipping is always a bitch. I don't know what you mean by that. Here's one thing that I think a lot of people have misconceptions about shipping, is that we don't make money on shipping. We actually lose money on shipping, and shipping is just some people associate it to the cost of the item, but it's actually and I get it, you're paying one bill, but it's a delivery fee. I mean, you're paying somebody to take that jean from our warehouse and bring it to your door. And sometimes that item that gets delivered to your door doesn't fit or doesn't suit your taste, and then you have to pay somebody else to send it back, and then to send it back again. And I get it. It's a cost that you don't want to have to pay if you don't have to, but just consider the fact that you're getting something, especially if we're shipping it a long distance. You're shopping at a store that you otherwise could have never shopped at ever before. This is. We're used to these big companies sending things overnight for free, and you're not free. I mean, how many of us have Prime accounts? We're paying for that shipping. And even then, I mean, you have to spend over a certain amount to get shipping. And look, the fact is we're not a $1 trillion company, and we just can't run on, when they run on low margins, that's because their volume is unbelievably high. We're not that. And so when it comes to shipping, we subsidize the cost of shipping going to you. Shipping in Canada, we actually on our website, and this is a limitation of our website. The fact is that the service that we use, and there is no service. I'll get into this. So the service that we use, we can actually provide shipping labels for return shipping on Canadian orders, but it doesn't allow us to do international orders for some reason. And we've been asking the developer to fix this for years, and they keep saying that they're on it. But so what happens is we'll provide you, if you're in Canada, you get a return label, and then we will subtract that from your credit amount. But it's still the shipping cost of shipping something. So, you can just print it out at home instead of having to go to the post office, which you have to go to the post office anyways, to send something back to us. So, we get it. And we try to, we charge $5 for Canada, $10 for USA, and it costs us more than that to ship all those items. So, we can't take losses on shipping, but we also like major losses. So we try to charge a fair amount so that, it just costs money. There's not much like we can do about that. And when shipping costs increase, we don't, and which happens every year. I mean, we try to negotiate it so that these increases and stuff don't affect us as much as they, rather they affect us as much as least invasively as they can, or most of, I don't know what I'm talking about. But we lose on shipping. We try to give you guys a subsidized rate, and yeah, you have to pay for shipping. I mean, if you don't want to pay for shipping, you can always shop in store. But then that costs your time too. So factor in that. Sorry, rant on shipping. I deal with a lot of shipping questions. And some people don't seem to be able to separate the fact that shipping is a separate service than the item that they're purchasing. if you were to ask somebody to bring you something from the convenience store, you could hire a courier to do it, and the courier will do it. And it doesn't increase the cost of the item. It just, you're paying for someone to bring it for you. It's a separate cost. Anyways. Rant. Your color core series is awesome. Is there a way to dye the yarns in a way that reveals the pattern as you like? The answer is no. You can't dye the yarns to reveal a pattern. What you would have to do is create a printed, and this is why it won't work. Well, it might. Basically, you have to make a printed fabric and then coat it. So the yarns themselves wouldn't be rope dyed. There would be a coating on top of a printed fabric. That would be the way to create a jean. It would be a jean. It just wouldn't be classically dyed. That would reveal a pattern. Otherwise, you could jacquard a pattern into the fabric using a color core rope dyed denim, but the pattern would be visible from the beginning. Except it would become more visible, but it would only be single color as the jean faded. So that would look really weird. Yeah. Fade to leopard print would be spicy. It would be spicy, but I don't know if that would work. How expensive would that sick Joker jacket be? Expensive. It's gonna be a pricey one. Let me double check for you, and I will let you know. Not all the prices are in my head. I wish I could remember that many things, but it's just not physically possible for me. Okay, the Dark Knight jacket, $396. The Joker jacket, $362. So in the $360 to $390 plus range. So that's where we're at with retail. Expensive, I know, but a lot of detail going into those jackets. Let me see if I can show this to you. Yeah. So you're gonna get this embroidery on the back. It's gonna be pretty sick and large. It's not a small embroidery. It's a giant panel. And look at that close up of that Celebs ID. It's all custom here. So the more custom and details you throw in there, it adds up. But it's going to be a pretty sick package once all put together. Looking at the patches alone, I need to cop Dark Knight Returns and Bane. Yeah, I like the Cape Crusade. My first introduction to Batman was, Adam West era Batman. So I really like that. And the fact that you never see Batman products. Not never. You don't often see products based off of that era of Batman. So I really enjoy that kind of fun and lighthearted Batman. Of course, I enjoy many iterations of Batman. Don't get me wrong, but that one's got a real soft spot for me. And of course that Bane one as well. I remember when I was a kid and going to the comic book shops and seeing just that image of Bane destroying Batman. That was kind of the same era of Superman's dead, and there was a lot of Image Comics was just kind of up and coming. It was a fun time, I think, in comic books. Yeah, it was when you're a kid, everything's bigger than it is. So I really enjoy that. And the thing is, all the comic book stores I used to go to when I was a kid don't exist anymore. It's kind of sad. They're not there. Yeah. Oh, that just hit me. Anyways, Teen Titans line. I'd like to do Teen Titans line. I enjoy that cartoon show. The newer one, Teen Titans Go. I never watched the other Teen Titans, but Teen Titans Go is really funny. What weight will Bane be? 16 ounces. What will the Joker denim be like? Is it going to be 100% cotton? 100% cotton? I think I'm really late on these questions. So Goku Black, somebody was recommending. Okay, I'm going to scroll up. If I missed your question, just ask it again. I'm sorry, because wow, there's so many I missed. Sorry. You speak Japanese? I speak a little bit, but not enough to communicate very well. Still expensive, but I was expecting more for all the badass detailings on it. Yeah, so, I mean, we try to keep things as reasonable as we can, but, you're just dependent. That's the thing. I mean, our costs are pretty transparent and real. That's why you'll even see just a $30 price difference on a jacket, not just $30, don't get me wrong. But, like, we didn't just make up the prices. These are all based off of fabric costs and production costs and everything. So once we calculate that all together, the chips are where they land. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, it is what it is. So if it's expensive, that's because that's the true cost. It's not like $1,200 jeans with a designer label on it. Why are the jackets so expensive? Because jackets are expensive to make, especially since we added those pockets. Those pockets are they were a pretty hefty cost to add, but everyone was asking me to add those pockets, so we did, and our jackets are more expensive because of it. But now you've got four more pockets on those jackets, inside and outside pockets. So consider what that is worth over the lifetime of you owning that jacket. A lot of people talking about value versus other brands. We are the value brand. I like to believe. Okay, I'm not gonna jump in on that topic. Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD salvage. I wouldn't mind doing some more trauma stuff. We'll see. That would be fun. Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. There's a lot of movies that I would love to do, but I don't think we can do. The world may not be so accepting or understanding of the of some of the movies and characters that appear in in these. I love them because it's funny. It's supposed to be a joke. It's satire, but people are sensitive now. I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is. I feel like the Vegeta fabric would work very well with the Dark Knight Returns Batman denim. I feel like the rough and gritty slub texture would work very well for that. It would. You're not wrong. We made a completely new denim for the Dark Knight. Black Dynamite crossover. Black Dynamite? Oh, I was thinking of Black Dynamite. Dynamite! I love that movie. I was thinking Napoleon Dynamite for a second. I'm like, no, I think you got it wrong. But yeah, Black Dynamite was good. I think there was a sequel to that, right? I don't think enough people have seen Black Dynamite. I really do enjoy that movie. And other movie. I mean, and the movies that they're kind of based off of, like that era of film. Fred Williamson is one of my favorite actors. I love him. He's such a badass. Napoleon Dynamite would be cool, but it would be cool. I don't know if it would be if we could make a collection on that. I do love Napoleon Dynamite. I remember when that movie came out, and it was one of those sleeper hits. It was one of those movies that became more famous after it went on home video DVD. But I was one of the few guys that saw it in theater, and I remember going pretty close to opening day, and I was with my buddy of mine, and we were in a movie theater. It was me and him, and three other dudes in that entire movie. There was 5 of us in the entire theater, and I was just so shocked at the end that how few people were in there. I'm like, this movie is awesome. And a lot of people missed out on that in the theater, and I'm happy. I'm proud that I went and saw it. Proud. Anyways, I'm glad I got to enjoy it on a big giant screen like that. Also, what jackets will we get for the Batman collection? You're going to get the Dark Knight, and you're going to get a Joker. 7 Samurai crossover, right? 7 denims might be much. I try to keep these down to like 4, maybe 5 items. Seven's a lot. Seven's a lot. Consider the fact that our regular collection is usually around 10 to 12 fabrics this season. So adding another 7 on top of that, that's a lot. Sometimes I feel like even the 4 is a lot, but anyways, we can roll with those punches. A really good anime collab idea is Steins Gate. Can you see if you guys designing something Steins Gate? I don't know Steins Gate. I have to look into it. Hello 25 NK. Hello. Thanks. A couple new people here I've never seen before. Hi. Tater tots, scratch and sniff. Yo, I love tater tots, dude. Yeah. Like my oven here, I've got for some reason my oven is tiny, but it's really good and it makes tater tots so well. Just so good at tater tots now. Okay. One's Rick and Morty jeans. Rick and Morty for spring, summer 21. We're working on just finalizing the fabric details on that. I think I talked about it before that we were trying to design Pickle Rick. So it turns out that the scratch and sniff is not doable for Pickle Rick. I really wanted to do that. That would have been so funny. Anyways, it's not happening unless some stroke of miracle. Some stroke of miracle? I don't know. Some miracle happens. But we are working on a alternative to that idea. And right now, it's going to be more of a hardcore denim option. So in the kind of unsamfrized or like very, very slubby denim world. So we'll have a hardcore option for Pickle Rick. So you'll see it very soon. Rick and Morty is happening, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy what we come up with there. Why are Japanese made denim a lot more expensive than NNF jeans? Same Japanese denim, but made in Canada. Why are other brands more expensive? Well, we can talk about that. So a lot of it has to do with how the businesses are structured. How many middlemen are there? Konnichiwa. How many people are involved? How many hands are involved? So sometimes there are more hands involved in things than others. We try to keep that down to a minimum as much as we can. Then there's just, shipping and duties and all that kind of stuff. So duties really adds a lot to the cost of an item because our jeans are made in Canada when we're shipping to the United States, obviously when we're shipping within Canada, when we're shipping to the EU, when we're shipping to places like Korea, and a number of other places, we have free trade agreements. So that means that there's no extra duty, there's no this invisible tax that has to be attached to the cost of that item. So because of that, we're able to keep our prices relatively low, and other countries don't have that luxury. So their prices are a little bit higher, and it's not necessarily because they're better quality or anything else. It's just because you got to pay the tax man, and somebody has to pay the tax man, and that often ends up being the consumer. Do I like Japan? Nihon suki desu. I love Japan. That's why I live here. And that's why we use Japanese fabrics and Japanese denim in all of our products that we make, because we really appreciate and adore the quality of fabrics that are made here, and we're able to produce them at a price that is palatable for many. We're not the least expensive jeans in the world, but I think we try to deliver as much value as we can for the price, and that's always been our aim. So value has always been our number one priority. We're not trying to I talk about designer jeans. We're not charging you for our egos. I don't see the value in that. Some people do. I don't. That's not something I want people to pay for. When people pay for their products that they buy from us, they're getting everything that they're paying for, and nothing is made up. So Maybe I'm going to leave you guys on that note. Thanks again for joining me on another live stream here on Instagram. I will save this on our IGTV, so this will be available to view anytime here on Instagram. This will also get re-uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it there. So thanks so much for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Mind you, it's mostly replays at this point, but I will at some point get back to doing the podcast. I've been on a couple recently, and I've just kind of had a lot of fun. Just got to think of a lot of different denim topics to fill that time with. Although I can ramble on forever, so it might just be me rambling on about nothing. But some people enjoy that. Some people will tune out. We'll find out. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, Fridays, and have a good weekend. Bye, guys.